Today, we're zooming in on three little words. Two, enough and very. Now, they seem simple. You probably use them constantly.
Absolutely. Every day.
But these words, the ones that show intensity, they're not really interchangeable at all.
Not at all. Using the wrong one can totally change what you mean, sometimes completely flip it.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive is to, really get the hang of these words. Two, enough, very.
Understand the nuances.
Yeah, and help you use them precisely.
Think of them like volume knobs for your sentences. Very just turns it up a bit. Two cranks it way past what's comfortable.
Right.
And enough, enough is trying to find that sweet spot, that just right level.
I like that analogy. So we're going to tune into each one.
Yep. What they mean, but also the feeling they give off, the impact.
Okay, let's get started. Maybe turn up the volume slightly with very. That feels like the simplest one.
It generally is, yeah. Very is pretty straightforward. It just intensifies an adjective or an adverb.
So it just means more.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
More of that quality. It amps it up.
And it feels like it does that without adding judgment. Like it's just a fact.
That's a good way to put it. Usually neutral or positive, like, it's very hot today. Just stating a fact about the heat.
Right, not complaining, just it's hot.
Exactly. There's no implied, oh no, unlike if we said it's too hot.
Okay, got it.
Or she's very talented. That just highlights her skill. It's positive emphasis.
Makes sense. And he runs very fast. Again, just tells us his speed. It doesn't say it's excessive or insufficient.
Precisely. So the key for very is that pure boost. Added emphasis, usually neutral.
Okay. So very boosts.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about two. That one feels different. It signals more than just intensity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Two tells you something has gone beyond a good or acceptable point. There's an excess.
And that excess often feels, negative, right? Or it points to a problem.
Yeah. It often carries that negative vibe, yeah. Or implies some sort of consequence.
The examples really show that. It's too hot to go outside. The two isn't just saying very hot.
Right. It's saying the heat is so high, it stops you from doing something. It makes it unpleasant, maybe even unsafe.
It crosses a line.
Exactly. It crosses that invisible line into problematic territory. Or think about, he's too young to drive. It's not just about his age number. It means he's below the required age, the legal limit.
So there's a standard he doesn't meet because of the two.
Yes. And another one, this bag is too heavy for me to carry.
Okay.
The weight isn't just significant, it's more than your capacity. It prevents you from carrying it. It's a barrier.
So two often sets up that inability, that negative consequence.
That's a really key aspect. You often see that structure. Two plus adjective, plus for someone, plus to do something like too heavy for me to carry. It spells out the consequence.
Ah, okay. That structure is important. It's not just a degree. It's a degree that causes a problem or stops something. Okay, so very amplifies neutrally. Two signals a problematic excess. Let's move to enough. That one seems to be about hitting a target.
Exactly. Enough is all about sufficiency. Does it meet the need? Is it adequate?
Without being excessive, though.
Right. It's about reaching that necessary level, that sweet spot, without going over two.
So the focus is the requirement met? Like, do we have enough food for everyone?
Perfect example.
Yeah.
It's asking directly. Does the quantity match the demand?
Okay.
But it can also highlight when something isn't sufficient. Like she's not tall enough to reach the shelf.
Right. So the lack of enoughness stops her.
Precisely. Her height doesn't meet the requirement for reaching the shelf. So enough can definitely point out a deficiency when used with not.
Okay. And he didn't run fast enough to win. His speed wasn't sufficient for victory in that race.
Exactly. Maybe he was fast, even very fast, but not enough for that specific goal winning.
So the meaning really hinges on whether that sufficient level was actually reached or not?
That's the crucial part. And grammatically, there are a couple of things to keep in mind with enough.
Ah, yes, the placement. When it's with an adjective, enough comes after it, right?
That's right. Strong enough, fast enough, warm enough, adjective first, then enough.
But with a noun, it's the other way around.
Yep. Enough comes before the noun, like enough money, enough chairs, enough time.
Got it. Those placement rules are pretty important for sounding natural.
They really are.
Okay, I think we've got a decent handle on each one now. How about we try that mini quiz to lock it in?
Sounds good. Let's test it.
First one. It's late to call her now. What goes in the blank and what's the thinking?
Okay, that has to be two. Too late.
Why two?
Because it implies it's past the acceptable time for calling. There's a negative consequence, like maybe you'll wake her up, or it's just inappropriate now.
Right, gone past the good point. Okay, next. We don't have chairs for everyone.
That one needs enough. We don't have enough chairs. Meaning there's a shortage. The quantity of chairs isn't sufficient for the number of people. A lack.
Makes sense. All right, number 3. She's smart. She'll figure it out.
This sounds positive. It should be she's very smart.
Just emphasizing her intelligence?
Yeah, just highlighting a high degree of smartness, which suggests a positive outcome. She'll figure it out. No excess, no falling short.
Got it. 4th one. That coffee is hot. I burn my tongue. Yikes.
Ouch. That consequence, burning your tongue, tells you it's too hot.
The heat level was excessive, beyond safe or comfortable.
Exactly. Problematic heat.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
This room isn't warm.
Isn't warm. Needs enough. Isn't warm enough.
Indicating a lack again.
Yes. The room hasn't reached the desired or necessary level of warmth. It's deficient.
Okay, yeah. That little quiz really does drive the differences home.
It helps solidify it, definitely.
And that summary table you mentioned earlier, that seems like a really neat, quick recap.
Yeah, super handy. Basically for very. Stronger intensity, neutral tone. Example, he's very fast. Just more speed. For 2 means more than needed or wanted, often negative tone or consequence. Example, it's too cold to swim.
Yeah.
Problematic cold.
Right, swimming's off the table.
And then enough means sufficient, hitting the mark. Can be negative if not enough, like in the example, she's not old enough to vote.
Yeah.
Tone can be neutral or negative depending on context.
Okay, that's a great snapshot. So wrapping up this deep dive, the takeaway seems to be use very just to turn up the volume, make something stronger, usually neutrally.
Right. Simple amplification.
Use to when something crosses a line, becomes excessive, often leading to a problem or preventing something.
Or than is good. Often negative.
And use enough when you're talking about meeting a specific need or standard or falling short of it.
Sufficiency, or the lack of it. Exactly.
You know, it's interesting how these tiny words pack such a punch. They really shape the meaning. They really do. Understanding them properly makes your communication so much clearer, helps you avoid misunderstandings.
Definitely. Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. Think about how to, enough, and very work in your own native language, if it isn't English, or even just how subtly they shift the feeling in English.
That's a great point.
Are there similar words in other languages you know? How do they compare? Do they have the same sort of positive or negative feelings attached?
Yeah, exploring that across languages can give you really fascinating new appreciation for how language handles intensity and sufficiency. It's quite powerful.
It really is. Something to think about.